Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part, I think it's 4, with the skin, the flowers, the leaves. Yeah, so part 4. A bit of a story on this one. As you can see, I have already done her hair. Now the story with this one was, I was doing a lovely stream showing you how the hair was done. I had Zach with me, and we were having a laugh and chatting and things, and he suddenly came out with a naughty word, and I don't have editing software. I was hoping that the microphone didn't pick it up very well, but it did, unfortunately. So what I've done is I've printed out another one. So if you're wondering why I am working with a blank one at the moment, that's why. We have Zach to blame for that one. Right, so what I did was, on the other one, was I did one side of the hair at a time. So I'm going to do this side at the moment, and then we'll work our way round to the other side. Now, the pencils I'm using this time is Gingerroot and Sandbar brown, light umber, chocolate and dark brown, and these are all in Prismacolors. We're sticking with the Prismacolors. I know a lot of colourists do like to use different mediums on their pages. Unless it's something like watercolour that I'm adding or something like that to a background or something, I try and stick with the same pencils, purely because somebody might have the Prismas, but then if I go and switch to Pablo's or something else, Luminance or whatever, they might not have them ones, and then so feel that they can't follow along properly. So this is just my way. I just prefer to use the same on each one. So with the Prismas, I'm going to lay down. I hope you can see that okay. Yep. I'm going to lay down. I hope this ink doesn't smudge. I did print it out a couple of days ago, so we'll see how we go. I'm going to lay down the Gingerroot. I've got all my sharp pencils, very sharp. Hubby's been good and sharpened them all for me. So the Gingerroot is just a base. Now she does have dark hair, but this is just the base coat. I do like to put a different, lighter undertone on my hair colours. This is just the way that I do it, and you'll see anyway how I do these. If you can hear a buzzing noise, that is my oven. I'm very sorry. My husband's cooking me a roast dinner, and it's sizzling away in the oven. So I'm really sorry if you can hear that. I'm trying to speak up so you don't actually get the oven sound, because I'm sure you don't all want to hear my dinner cooking, unless you do, of course. Unless you're feeling hungry, and then you might want to go and cook a roast dinner. But there you go. So we're just doing the light layer of the Gingerroot down, and Zach did ask me why it is called Gingerroot. He was thinking of like ginger hair on people, and I told him no, this is, you know, the colour of ginger, fresh ginger, stem ginger that you get, and fresh ginger. So he now knows that one. Right, so we've done the base there. It is smudging a bit. I'm sorry. I hope your ink doesn't smudge like mine, even though I leave mine to dry. This has been done a couple of days, and it's, you know, it's still smudging. So I'm sorry about that. I hope the next bit won't smudge. Right, now I'm going to use the darkest one, which is the dark brown, and I'm going to have to turn my page a bit. I'll try and keep you in the shot here. I'm going to turn it like this, so I'm now this way. Let me just move that up there a bit. Right, so we've got all that in there. Good-o. Right, from the roots, obviously there isn't a lot to play with here. Mardel has left a highlight down the middle, so, and because there isn't a lot to play with here, I'm just going to flick, oh, there goes my pencil. I'm just going to flick this dark brown from the roots and up. Now you don't do them all sort of different lengths, because you don't want to see like a harsh line of highlight down the middle. So, and you do it both sides like this, and you just do them at different lengths, and just so you know, you get the feel for it, because obviously nobody has a harsh highlight line down their hair. So that's why you do, you know, the different lengths. Obviously these bits of hair aren't that long, so we know we haven't got to do great flicking, you know, long lengths flicks or whatever. So, but we just need to, I hope you can see that bit. Yep, we just need to get this in here, and I hope this is clear enough for you, because I really don't want to have to film this one again. I was annoyed enough that Zach came out with this word and I played it back, and I'm like, no, you can hear it, you know, he just out of the blue, we were having a laugh, and it was going really well, and I just thought it was a really nice, you know, sort of colour and chat thing, and he was sort of asking questions, and all of a sudden he just came out with this rude word, and you know, I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, so I had to delete that and start again. So, and then we will be up to where I am on mine then. Right, the next colour I'm going to use is, I don't particularly go in any particular order or anything like that, so, you know, you can just use whatever you want really, doesn't really matter. I'm going to go in with the light umber, and I'm going to do, oh, these pencil tips because they're so sharp. I'm just going to do light flicks, same as we did before with the dark brown. Make sure we get into the little bits around here. I mean, you can sort of just fill them in, which is what I usually do around the edges if I'm not sure if I've filled it in properly. So you flick up from the bottom, and then you flick down from the top. So this is the way to do that, and I usually just sort of can sort of draw around them bits just to make sure that you've got them, and you know, you haven't missed any bits. This is very crumbly, these pencils. Perhaps I'm being a little bit too heavy-handed with them, I don't know. But yeah, so that was quite funny that he'd said this word, but it was a bit too, you know, naughty for him to put onto YouTube, I think. I know they can be quite strict with things. I have watched other videos. Right, now I'm going to use the Sandbar brown. I have watched other videos where they have, oh, I missed that bit there, didn't I? I know they have been quite strict, you know, and other people have got warnings or whatever, but I mean, I really, you know, I don't know whether they would kick me off or just give me a warning, or so I'd rather not chance it at all, to be honest. It's just not worth it. So we just do the tiny little flicks into there, different lengths of course, because, you know, it's not going to all be exactly the same length. So this is what I'm doing. And I've actually got my nails painted. Yeah, I haven't had painted nails for years. And I found some old nail varnish. Found several old nail varnishes actually. and I thought, I bet none of these will be any good now. I'll have to, you know, buy some more. None of them were the colour which I would particularly wear now. I had some bright pinks and reds and things like that, which is not me anymore. I've toned down a lot. I've ordered a new one off of eBay, which is, I'm hoping it'll be any good. It's sort of just a basic nail colour, really. Not much colour in it, but it just makes your nails look a little bit better. Because I know close up, you don't realise how your nails look close up. Mine looked awful. They looked really yellow and horrible. So I thought, I'm going to paint my nails, so that's what I've done. Right, the next one we're going to use is the chocolate, and this is the last one on here. So same again, flicking up through the hair, exactly the same as we did before. My dog's with me again, tippy-tapping under the table, looking for crumbs and things. There we go, like that. The same on this one, we go up on these ones. Lots of dust on these. And we're leaving the highlight line across down there, like we said we would. So, there we go. Make sure we flick it all up, and then down here as well. And down here, you can see I've left the white line there with the highlight, and I've just left a tiny, tiny little bit on this side as well, just so it looks a bit more realistic. And I know I've gone over some lines, but it doesn't matter for this. I mean, you can just be a bit more careful than what I'm being. Now, when I've done all that, what I like to do is go in with the base coat that we did, and just having the pencil on the side, oh sorry, my page is all up in the air, having the pencil on the side, I just very gently go over the highlight area, just to put a little bit more colour in there, stop it looking quite as white as it does. And that also, I find, helps to sort of blend the colours together. So you haven't got like a stop and a start where the colour is and then suddenly where there's no colour. It sort of blends them together. Oh, I've got the dog licking my feet now. And so, it just blends them together. So you can see, you know, there isn't white, there is a nice colour there. And I'll just put some on this bit down here, like this. What it feels like to be loved, I don't know. This dog, she's terrible. I had a bad night last night, and I was up all night, and I didn't actually go to bed until 7 this morning, and then I was up again at 10:30 when the alarm went off, and then I went back to bed this afternoon. I had my breakfast and watched a couple of things, and it was midday, and that was when I take my pills anyway, so I took my pills and then went back to bed. So that's why we're having a very late tea tonight. Right, so we've done that side. Right, this side I will just do, if I can get it in the frame, that is, I will just do, might be better that way, let's see. Sure, that's how I did it last time. Yeah. I'm just going to do this top bit here and down to here, and then the next bit we'll do will be that bit, so we're going to do it in sections, which is the easiest way to do it. Now you don't have to do it the same as me, you can do it any colour you like. It doesn't even have to be a hair colour, it can be a fantasy hair colour. You know, very often I have done pink, blue, red, you know, any colour, but I mean you can do it as a redhead, which you'd pick more sort of orangey tones, Obviously different shades of that, like I'm picking different shades of brown, and then this lighter colour, which is for the highlight. So you can do that. You can do black, and I usually, I don't know how other people do their black hair, but I will. I mean, I can show you if anyone wants to see how I do my black hair. I've not done it very many times, but I know I used greys and black for that. I mean, I can, if you want to see me do, you know, one of them, just let me know in the comments and I can do that for you. Obviously, if you're doing blonde hair, for instance, you'd use more yellowy pencils, but different shades of yellow, obviously. A little bit there, and that bit's got a knot on it, so that belongs to her headdress thing. So yeah, I mean, I just thought that she should be brown haired or dark haired, basically because she's sort of an Asian, well, not Asian, but I just pictured her as having sort of olivey skin, which we did sort of tan skin on her, and then I thought, well, she should really have dark hair, unless of course she's dyed it another colour. I've done pink hair, blue hair, green hair. I've done all sorts of different colour hair. So, I mean, I can always show you if you want to see me film any of them. Just let me know in the comments. Right, there we go. Now, what did we do? The darkest one, didn't we? Which is dark brown. And exactly the same. We're just going to flick small flicks into the centre there, and only tiny flicks because we've got to leave the highlight as well, and there isn't a lot of space, so we've got to be quite careful about only doing small ones in this. So you can see actually down here the lightest bit where Mardel has actually left it there, which is, you know, meant for the highlight. So you just sort of start and just do little flicking motions, so you sort of start and you sort of then go off to nothing, is how I do that. So where are we, this side as well? But yeah, I mean, you sort of go down, flick down, and then you flick up from the bottom. So you start like where you need to start, and then just flick, and the same that way. And the same here, there is a little bit of a highlight on that one, which I can leave a little bit there. It's darker there. I'll do them bits dark, don't worry about them because we can go over them. I've just got to make sure I don't go over the bit on her headdress there. So around here. But I mean, if you want to do dark, the same as me, you know, you can use the same pencils as me. I don't have a set, the same as my skin really, I don't have a set colour that I do for any colour really. If I, like this one, I just thought, oh, you know, I'll do dark hair on her, and I didn't, you know, refer to a book or anything of what darks I normally use or anything like that. I just thought dark hair, and I just pick pencils out what I think, and it either works or it doesn't. Like with the leaves on here on the other one that's coloured, I didn't like how the leaves were coming out that I was doing, so I mixed and matched them, and I'm a lot happier with how the picture looks overall now, because I wasn't happy with the colour of the leaves that I was doing. So as you'll have seen, all the greens that I used, I just did a mixture of any of them on the, just 3 of them, but there was sort of several pencils, probably 5 or 6 pencils in the greens that I got, and because I didn't like that, I mixed it and matched it with lots of different ones. So some are lighter, some are darker, some are more olivey, some are more sort of grass green colour, and I'm a lot happier with how that's coming out now. And we're doing the same again with the light umber. So we're just dragging this from there into the centre, because we need to have it all covered. We don't want to leave any white sections, apart from the highlight, of course. I mean, that would then naturally be white anyway. So this is the umber one, and we just put a little bit of each pencil down, and the colours just blend together, and they end up, because nobody has got the same colour hair. I mean, dark hair has got some black hair in it, it's got some red hair in it, it's probably got some blonde lighter bits in it, and the same as black hair, it's not completely black. There'll be grey bits in it, dark grey bits in it, and some sort of blue bits in it sometimes, and they're all completely different. So, you know, you can't just sort of, well, you can if you want to, that's up to you, but it doesn't look so realistic if you just do it, you know, all one colour. Right, what are we up to now? Sandbar. Same again as what we did the other side with the sandbar. Just flicking it into the middle there. And I'm just gonna, like I do sometimes, I go around things, because if you've not sort of gone right up to the flowers or whatever, as the case is on this one, then it can, you know, look as if there's a gap there, and you don't want that. So I'm not sure about that one. They're probably in there, I would say. So yeah, that's just how I do hair. I mean, I know others, you know, some people use, you know, there is an easy hair colour which you can do with 3 pencils, which I have done before, and I can show you that, like you know, I've showed you my 3 colour skin, my easy 3 colour skin tone. I can show you the 3 colour hair. That's quite simple to do. What are we up to now? Chocolate. So I can do these pencils just snap completely. I can do a video on that, on how to do easy 3 colour hair, and you can still have a highlight down the middle with that. It's not as effective as what this sort of technique is, where you're adding like lots of different colours and tones. You know, it's not as easy. This isn't, you know, as easy, but I mean, if anyone wants to see a video on how I do that, I'm quite happy to do that. And if there's a certain colour that you would like to see me do in hair colours, I'm happy to do that. Any that you're happy to, you know, that you want to see me do, you know, I'm always happy to make the videos for you. Just let me know in the comments. And that's that bit done. Right, and then we go over again. Go away, don't want any chocolate, go away. And then we go over again, as like we did with the other one, on the side, gently, with the Gingerroot. And if you can see, I hope you can, that is dust, that just, you can see sort of where there's like, where the pencils have ended there, but once we've gone over with this, you can still see where it sort of stops and starts, but it doesn't look quite as what's the word? I can't think of the word now. It doesn't look quite as, you know, as if you've done it like that. It blends in, and it looks quite natural. So that's good. Right, there we go. What have we got on the timer? 25 minutes, we're doing okay. And then I can upload this one as soon as possible for you, because by then, tomorrow, by the time I've done this one, I'll have uploaded the third one, which was the leaves, and then there was this one. So then I'll have caught up to where I am on the proper picture. So I really I was listening, and I was hoping that I could do something with it, but unfortunately not. You know, you could hear him come out with this word, and oh dear me, I was like, shush, no, you can't say things like that. So I had to explain to him, like, when I'm filming, you know, he can sit with us and he can chat and have a laugh and things, but he took it a bit too far. But never mind. Never mind, always happy to do things again, I don't mind. Right, so that's that piece. Oh, gosh, I just fell on the floor, never mind, I'll get that in a minute. Right, now we've just got this long bit here. Well, we've got that long bit that side as well, haven't we? We've got this long bit here. So it will go all over that with the Gingerroot. Hope that's in shot, this is. No good me telling you what I'm doing if you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. There we go. That's how there, isn't it? Yep, I think so. So we're getting there with this picture anyway. I just didn't want it to be too, you know, too many parts and too long and too boring, and you know, you all get bored and stop watching halfway through. Back in with our dark brown. We flick down from the top, and this bit as well. Mind her ear. I've got it on her ear. Terrible. All my people seem to have things, but since this is just the second one, it doesn't matter too much. I'm not going to worry, because I probably won't colour the rest of this in anyway, unless of course Zach says something on another video while I'm doing this one, and then I shall have to make another one. But there you go, that's Zach for you. I should be used to him and things he comes out with by now. He's got a thing about this picture. There's some certain parts on this picture that he thinks looks rude, and because he had to just come out and say what it was. But never mind. Light umber, going back in with that one. Down here. Yeah, that was quite a good, it was a shame because it was quite a good video. We were having a laugh, and we were both chuckling away and laughing about stuff, and it just sort of gave you an insight into what, you know, Zach's like, and you know, the things he says, and which was quite amusing, and it was a shame that I couldn't use it, I'm afraid. But I'm sure he'll be here. He's upstairs at the moment on his PlayStation, because he's just got PlayStation Plus again, so that's kept him happy for a little while. Sandbar brown. He's not been going out to see his friends. Because of his disability, the things that he does are not always appropriate. and I didn't know a lot of the things that he was doing because I don't know his friends. But his friend messaged me on Facebook and said, could I have a word with Zach because he was doing certain things. He thought it was okay to sit in his friend's back garden if his friend wasn't available and just sit in his back garden and wait for him. Or he'd leave a gift for his friend, like a can of beer or something, by the back door, and if he thought they were in but they weren't answering the door, he'd look through the windows, and there was inappropriate things that he was doing that his friend got a bit fed up with. So they haven't exactly fallen out, but they're not sort of talking. Well, they are talking at the moment, but his friend just sort of needs a bit of a break from him, I think. People don't understand Zach. I mean, it's not that we've not brought him up right. He knows sort of right from wrong in normal things, but because he's never really had a friend before, he doesn't know what's appropriate to do at a friend's house, if you know what I mean. Like, he didn't know it was wrong to look in the window if he thought they were there, and to sit on his neighbour's step waiting for his friend, and there was just sort of little things that is something that I can't explain it really. We've brought him up properly, and with manners. He's got really impeccable manners. I mean, all three of my children, everyone used to say, what good manners they had. They were always please and thank you, but with Zach, because of his disability, he doesn't understand, or doesn't always understand that something like that is not the thing to do. You can't do that sort of thing. So now he understands, and I've said to him, just tell your friend that you're really, really sorry for the things that you did that upset him. And just tell him it's only because of your disability that you don't realise these things are wrong. You think, that it's okay to do these things. And to tell his friend that, if he don't get angry with him, which is what happened this time, don't get angry with him, just explain to him you can't do that because, that it's not good manners, or it's just not the done thing, or, people don't do that sort of thing usually. And he understands that, and he won't do it again. But there's been a sort of little bit of an disagreement. They're still friends. I think Zach got a bit suicidal, thinking that they weren't friends anymore. So I had to message his friend, and yeah, they're still friends. But his friend has got a girlfriend now, which Zach doesn't like very much because he wants his friend all to himself. So I've explained all that to him, that this is going to happen as people get older. They're going to get girlfriends, and and they're not going to want to be with their mates so much. So there we go. Right, so that is the dark hair with the Prismacolors on our Mardel Rubio lady here. So I hope you enjoyed that. The colours again were dark brown, light umber, sandbar brown, chocolate and Gingerroot. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll come back next time with the coloured picture, which I shall put there, because you can see it's exactly the same. Just lift you up there, you can see that the hair and that is exactly the same. So we'll come back with our coloured one, and we'll do some more on that one next time. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.